The crucial step new real estate investors always miss. Most new investors jump right into looking for deals and don't even realize they don't even know what they're looking for. That's why they waste months or even years going in circles. What if I told you the key to finding more profitable deals wasn't searching more, it was really knowing exactly what deals you should be looking for from the start? If you've been spinning your wheels on Zillow or chasing random deals, you're missing the first step that makes every other part of investing easier: your buy box. Once you define your buy box, the exact parameters of the properties you're going after, you can zero in on the right deals, ignore the wrong deals, and have other people bring you exactly what you want. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what it takes to build your perfect buy box. I coach people all the time, and one of the common questions I always get is, well, Glenn, how do I find my next deal? The other question I get is, well, how do I fund my next deal? Those two questions are all preceded by this question. I said, well, what are you looking for? We're looking for a house to flip. What's your buy box? What's a buy box? And right there I know they're missing a key component. Once I know that you know the specific property that you're looking for, I know that you'll be able to find it that much faster. I also know that once you find a deal, the money always finds you. You can find all about that in different videos on our channel, but the truth is, once you find a good deal, the money is never hard to find. But if you put all your focus on the front side of this equation, you will be successful as a real estate investor. So I want you to begin with the end in mind. First off, as a buy box, I want you to think about yourself, what's a good deal for you, and also who is your end buyer. In other words, who's gonna buy this property or who's gonna rent this property from me when I'm done? And if I tailor my buy box to what they want, I can then reverse engineer what I should be looking for to buy that same property at a discount. Does that make sense? Have you ever bought a new car? Maybe a new car to you, maybe not a brand new car, but a new car to you. Have you ever noticed that as soon as you bought that car, everybody on the street seemed to be driving the same car as you, and some of them had the audacity to have the same color as you and same year as you? Crazy, right? It's because we have this thing in our brain called the reticular activating system. And the reticular activating system allows our brain, our subconscious and our conscious, to be able to see things in our environment that we are familiar with or that we are focused on. So you've all of a sudden been focused on this new car that you bought. You've been looking at all the features and benefits and looking it up online. So suddenly you're starting to see them every place. I know you're probably smiling right now going, yeah, how do you know that? Because it happens to all of us. Well, I want you to have that same exact concept when it comes to finding a house to flip. Just like you defined the vehicle you were looking for, you had a buy box for your car, didn't you? And all of a sudden you started seeing a bunch of them. Well, there are great deals all around you, but we have to first define what you're looking for. So what things do we have to define to make you a successful real estate investor? Here we go. One of the key factors I'm going to advise you to do is, in the location part of this, stay close to your home. If the numbers are reasonable, find an area around your home that is reasonable so you can drive to it and see it and get to know and own that area. So location. Where do you want to buy your flips? Now, you can get narrowed down to a street if you want to, but I would encourage you to find a town or a neighborhood that's big enough so you have enough volume to have a few good deals a year you can find in there. Next, I want you to define the property type that you're looking for. In other words, do you want a single family? Do you want a multifamily? Do you want a condo? Right? What style? You can get very specific and say, well, I just want to have a colonial style, or I just want to have a split level or a split ranch, or I might want to have a Tudor style, or whatever it might be. The more specific you get, the tighter it's going to be with finding available deals. But I would say, what type of house do you want to focus on? Again, your brain is now saying, okay, when I see what I'm looking for, I'll know it because that's what I'm focused on. Next is, what is my bedroom and bathroom count, and what is my square footage? In other words, what range do I want to be in for square footage? Do I want a house that's under 2,000 square feet, over 2,000 square feet? Do I want to have a $10,000 property on the ocean, or do I want to have a 1,500 square foot perfect first-time home buyer type house? Where do I want to spend my time? Again, the more you define it, the more you're going to be able to see it. Bedroom and bath count. Now, don't be deceived with this one because I have another video that'll train you how to find this, but you want your end product to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on average, let's just say, or maybe you want to have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath or a 5-bedroom. Again, you have to define what you want to go after because the more you define it, the more you're going to be able to see it. Next could be the age of the home. Roughly, when is the house built? And you'll start to know that by certain neighborhoods that you work in. So you decide what neighborhood you want to be in. That will usually determine the age of the home that you want to work in. For instance, if you want to do homes that are over 100 years old and get into historic districts, well, that's a different type of flip. That's a whole different animal. You're going to have a lot different problems from stuff that was built 150 years ago than stuff that was built 40 or 50 years ago, right? But you get to make that decision when you decide and define your buy box. Next is the level of work that you want to go after. In other words, do you want to do minimal work? Or do you just want to do some repairs on the house? Do you want to do some cosmetic flips where you just replace kitchen cabinets and maybe you replace some windows and some flooring, bathroom vanities, and paint it and make it look great? Maybe that's the extent you want to do. Maybe you're a contractor and you say, no, I'm not scared of anything. I'll take on foundation work. I'll take on redoing the house. I'll put a new roof on. I'll add an addition on the house. Again, that's called a value add type of flip. What do you want to do? So all through this process in this video, I'm teaching you that you get to define your buy box. You define exactly what you want to buy. Because as you can imagine, once you have that defined in your mind with the location, the property style, I want you to think about what school district it's in. That's a really important one as well. Decide what school district you want to be in because a lot of times your end buyers may have kids if you decide that's your buy box. And once you know all these things, now you can set forth to find the best deal for yourself. Once you know exactly what you're looking for, guess what goes to work? Your reticular activating system. Now it's not just seeing cars on the road. When you drive through neighborhoods, you're going to start to see deals pop out at you and you go, oh, there's one. And the great part about having your buy box defined is you block out all the other noise. Right now, if you look online, there's hundreds or maybe thousands of houses for sale. And it's confusing. What do I bid on? What should I look at? Should I make an offer on that one or this one or that one or this one? But if you define your buy box clearly, you have your blinders on like a horse, right? You have your blinders on and you're focused just on that deal. And because you're focused on that, you're only going to see those deals. And that is how you become a successful investor. Because like I said, once you find those deals, now you get really good at making offers on those deals. You tend to know what kind of repair costs are needed on those deals. Because you start to do them and you start to walk houses in that neighborhood, you get really used to things. You start seeing a lot of the same things over and over again, the same size of the house, same electrical panels, same HVAC systems. You start to see things and you're like, wow, okay, I'm starting to specialize in this type of flip. You don't have to do 100 of them a year to make a lot of money. If you just do a couple of deals a year at $50,000 each, that's $100,000 in profit. Could that change your life? I know that it can. It's a lot of money, but if you get focused in and not look at the masses, just look at the buy box, you'll be able to be successful. It'll help you block out all the other noise so you can focus on just the things that you want. Can we agree that we don't have a lot of extra time to waste? When you have a buy box, you know the great thing about a buy box? You are allowed to say no. You see a deal come down and it doesn't meet your buy box. It's maybe close, but you see some things you don't like. Now that you know what you're looking for, you can say, no, that's not for me. No, that's not for me. No, that's not for me. Oh, that one is for me. You see, you're not wasting your time chasing your tail anymore like new investors do when they go look at every deal under the sun, try and make it work. When you know exactly what you're looking for, no more wasted time. So now that you know what a buy box is, your next step is determining the best buy box for you to match your goals as a real estate investor. I have put together a training called the Flip Reset. In this training, I'm going to walk you through exactly the buy box that I think you should spend your time on. I'm going to help you define it step by step. I'm going to help you break it down so you know not only the buy box on the ARV or the after repair value when you sell it, but how to reverse engineer that to find it in a very discounted amount so you can buy it and then turn it into a finished product. There's a science to that. In this training, I'm also going to break down how you can use the buy box to get people to bring deals to you by you looking so smart and saying, here's what I'm looking for. If you find this, bring it to me and I'll pay you. And I go over that step by step, including scripts in the Flip Reset. So do me a favor, if that's of interest to you, the link is right down here in the description below. go to theflipreset.com and take that training from me. It's about 40 minutes of an in-depth training of me showing you exactly how to define your buy box, because once you find your buy box, you will start finding deals, and once you find deals, the money will come. And once the money comes, you'll figure out the contractors and everything else, and that's how you get on your way to start reaching your goals finally as a real estate investor. Start with your buy box. Click the link below.